espoused this cause since long. But now all those elements were there who were doing that. I would term them as fringe elements. But now the dangerous situation that has come is, including some of the mainstream political parties, have started endorsing these views, which is a very, very dangerous scenario. And at this opportune moment, the voice of the country, the voice of the South, that should be heard loud in the capital of India. That decision, I would like to congratulate the leadership of Kesari, all those who have been supporting this view, and I am happy that I am invited for this program. Now, as I mentioned, now the recent days, during the last, I can say, a couple of weeks or maybe a couple of months, we have been hearing such voices being put across by people from the political activities also, political front also. What is the reason for this? What is the immediate provocation for this? There is no need for further elaborations. The growing influence of the nationalist forces, the growing influence or the growing popularity of the Prime Minister beneath the Vindhya, that is creating unrest for many people. ബഹുമാന്യനായിട്ടുള്ള പ്രധാനമന്ത്രി നരേന്ദ്രമോദിജിയുടെ വർദ്ധിച്ചു വരുന്ന ജനപ്രീതി, വിന്ധ്യന് താഴെയടക്കം വർദ്ധിച്ചു വരുന്ന ജനപ്രീതി, ആ ജനപ്രീതി പലരെയും അസ്വസ്ഥരാക്കുന്നു എന്നുള്ളത് നമുക്കെല്ലാവർക്കും അറിയുന്ന ഒരു കാര്യമാണ്. So people who have been having power in their hands as a family property, the government of India was in their control. They now feel that they are going to lose that power forever. And that has created a sort of an unrest in their minds. And that has perhaps prompted them to choose the ultimate weapon of dividing, even if by dividing the country, if they can hold on to a certain percentage of their influence or certain areas of the country, they have taken this path of creating division, to the extent of creating division between South and North India to serve their interests. We saw some time ago a media collective motivated by the left ideologies conducting a conclave by the name of Cutting the South. And it was inaugurated by the Kerala Chief Minister. Of course, he did it online, but he inaugurated it. And the funding for that was there was foreign funding, was clearly accepted. And it is an accepted known fact that, and it has been, the organizers, they themselves agreed. They have said that this is the funding of the foreign funding is there behind the organization of the Cutting the South conclave. The Canadian High Commission, they sponsored a session on climate change. All these have been given. This information, this came out during the interrogation of one of the organizers who is a media person before the Karnataka police. And this United States of South India is a slogan that has been raised by organizations like the PFI. And this was discussed by this conclave, is what the news that has come out. So now this is being led, this is being given the support by parties like Congress and their alliance parties like DMK. Rahul Gandhi had nowhere else to go once he knew that his popularity is on the decline, and he was given a political asylum by Kerala. But it doesn't mean that Kerala is not part of India. So I would like to tell the Congress and its alliance partners that the lust for power, should not be, it should not lead to a situation where you take up even breaking the country and having some portion of that power. Adhikara moham രാജ്യത്തിന്റെ അഖണ്ഡതയെ പോലും തകർക്കുന്ന തലത്തിലേക്ക് നീങ്ങുന്നത് അങ്ങനെ ആവരുത് എന്നാണ് എനിക്ക് കോൺഗ്രസിനോടും സഖ്യകക്ഷികളോടും പറയാനുള്ളത്. സർദാർ പട്ടേൽസ് റോൾ ഇൻ creating India, uniting India administratively. India as a nation has been existing since centuries, everyone knows. But after the British left India, bringing India under single rule, under one constitution, administratively bringing it together, in that the effort made by Sardar Patel is an accepted fact. Earlier days, it was the external forces who were trying to create division in the country. But now, it is the forces within the country, the forces internally, domestic agencies. Such agencies and forces are trying to do that. And Kerala is facing the brunt of all these things. We saw when Article 370 was abrogated, we saw the protests in Kerala. During the Citizenship Amendment Act, we saw the protests in Kerala. Even against Ram Mandir construction, we saw the protests in Kerala. And recently, on the issue of the Middle East Gulf War that is now going on, the conflict in Israel, we saw forces coming out in support of not Palestine, but in support of terrorist forces. Terrorist forces, the only state in the whole country where terrorist forces in support of the terrorism, in support of terrorist forces, mainstream political parties, including the Congress, conducting programs, campaigns. We can't see it in any other part of the country, any other state except in Kerala. And recently there was an incident where openly the Speaker of Kerala denigrating the Hindu gods and goddesses. Tamil Nadu, we saw Udayanidhi Stalin saying that Sanatana Dharma should be eradicated. And Stalin was supported by none other than Congress leaders like members of parliament like Karti Chidambaram. Recently, there was an incident in parliament during a speech. The states which supported BJP, especially in the recent election, they were termed as Gomutra states by a member of parliament who belonged to the DMK. And yesterday, there was another incident during the discussion on the Amendment Act, the bill which was considered in the amendment of the reorganization of Jammu Kashmir. A member of parliament in DMK, he was espousing the cause of secession, and it was being supported covertly by the Congress. So this goes to the extent where the Congress and their political allies, they are coming forward to support this idea of creating division in the country between South and North. Sanatana Dharma becomes anathema when DMK is out of power, when Congress is out of power. Sanatana Dharma had no issue. They had no issue with Sanatana Dharma when DMK was part of Atal Bihari Vajpayee's government, because then they were part of government. When they were in power, they have no issues with any of these causes, any of these ideas. But when they are out of power, they come out openly. So Congress and allies, they are now going to the extent where they want to use anything and everything to create division in the country, support secessionist forces, support divisionist forces, divisive forces, and even if that results in a situation where a portion of the country, a part of the country, there are people who openly support the idea of United States of South India. They say that South India is BJP free. The main opposition in Karnataka, the ruling front in Puducherry, the members of parliament and members of assembly in various other states, there are a lot of BJP representatives. So, Hindu and Hindi, these are two issues that they have been taking up. Anything considered Hindu is something untouchable. Hindi is untouchable. But they should also remember, I can very authentically say that being the president of the Dakshin Bharat Hindi Prachar Sabha, the organization founded by Mahatma Gandhiji. Mahatma Gandhiji was the president of Dakshin Bharat Hindi Prachar Sabha from 1918 till his death in 1948. 3 long decades. Because Gandhiji felt that spreading Hindi in South India is part of the freedom movement, and by spreading Hindi in South India, the country can be united. And perhaps you will be surprised. The largest number of people who appear for the examinations of Hindi Prachar Sabha is from Tamil Nadu and Kerala. More than 1 lakh people, they write exams of Hindi Prachar Sabha in Tamil Nadu. So all these things, I don't want to go into the details of how the country is united. I will not go to the period of Adi Shankara, who traveled across the country, founding the various mutts, the connection between Badrinath and Kerala. All these things and these historical facts, hundreds and thousands of devotees who come to the temples in Tirupati, Madura Meenakshi, Guruvayur, Shabarimala, they are all Sanatana Dharma devotees, believers. They are all Hindu devotees. So, any effort by creating a divide in the country, any effort in creating a situation that Hindi and Hindu are abhorrible, this definitely is not acceptable. So, the mainstream political parties should not speak the language of jihadis. Mainstream political parties should not speak the language of secessionists. Mainstream political parties should avoid speaking the language of the divisive forces of the country. So, those who are trying to create a situation where through Islamic terrorism and through Islamic State, if somebody is dreaming that India can be divided into South and North India, they are in a fool's paradise. The whole country will be united. Whole country will stand unitedly against all such forces. And let me take this opportunity to again congratulate Kesari for taking up this issue, for bringing it to the mainstream in Delhi, so that the whole country knows that such forces are not the mainstream forces in South India, and instead, even in South India, there are voices, there are sections or a major section of the society who feels that, who believes that India is united and will continue to remain united. With these words, let me conclude. Namaskaram to all of you.